Hello friends, welcome. It's Big Deno. About to crack on with some wonderful toy soldier painting. And when I say wonderful, I'm not referring to the quality of the toy soldier painting that I will be demonstrating. I'm instead referring to the fact that we will enjoy ourselves and have a wonderful time. Again, I make no promises for you, but I will have a wonderful time. It is a momentous occasion. The diorama with which I've been working on since the very start of January is very close to completion. It is sitting over there. I will show it off in all its glory a little later on today, but we have to paint this girl and we have to do the final touches on this girl. And then there's a few little things that I might just put on the back burner and do before a couple of the events later in the year. So I'm taking this piece to two events: the Guilds Inn, which is in Sydney, and also taking it to Arc Open, which is in Melbourne. When is that? April. So this piece will be at both of those events. Which should be a bit of fun. I have a few tests to run actually on some electronic components to see how long they last. But yeah, we'll talk about that later. So this girl was my favourite of all of the models. So I saved her till last. Now I've done that on pretty much all of my projects where I've saved one model till last. And then unfortunately, by virtue of spending hours and hours and months on a project, I get to the end and I'm just like, I've had enough. I'm ready for this project to be over. So, first of all, I hope that doesn't happen with this project. I feel like it hasn't, but I don't want to count my chickens. And yeah, this has been probably my favourite project I've done. I think, just in terms of all of the things I learned along the way. All the friends I made, Didn't really make any friends, but that's okay. Don't really need any friends. No, this has definitely been a really enjoyable project. Probably my most enjoyable one so far, just in terms of G'day, Teal Sky. Just in terms of what I learned and models I got to paint, really fun. So, on the whole, I'm really pleased. As always, there's a few things I would change if I could go back and redo things, the project. If I could go back, I'd redo a few things. The main one being the construction of the diorama. As always, I go loose. I'm always so loose when it comes to building these things. Haha, Minimancer, what's up, champion? Champion! Great, yeah. Thank you for that feedback. We haven't yet had our catch up with the team of Crimson Brush organisers to discuss the feedback that we received, but I would expect that we will, with the additional space we will have next year, we will have a little bit more capacity to potentially increase what we do with the stream, etc. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, the biggest problem is time on that weekend. You know, like Dave, wonderful man that he is. You know, he would be happy to just give up his time forever. He would be like, I just want to spend all this time talking to people and taking photos and just doing stuff. And sometimes I have to say to him, Dave, just stop, mate. Go and relax. Go and check out the convention. Go and do some stuff. So it'd be good to get one of those from Bucks, you know. Some other painters as well. G'day Incentium. Some other painters I reckon would be interesting from. So, Hey, thank you, Botox. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. You know, when I talk about that series, you know, it's quite different to what most people would expect from a painting series, and that was intentional. You know, I was really trying to do something that was different to the norm of, you know, this is how you paint this guy, X, Y, Z. I really wanted to try and give people some different techniques and skills to be able to handle anything. And yeah, feedback such as yours has generally been quite positive, but there was also quite a lot of people at the time who were like, yeah, but how do I actually paint? G'day, Sean. Chronicles of Ozmane. Can you link me on that? I haven't seen too many that have jumped out at me so far. I've got a few that I'm holding on to from last year that look okay. Euthia just rocked up, so I've been playing a lot of Euthia in the last couple of days. It's going well, mate. Quite a lot actually of Euthia. Morning, Timbo. Oh, so you changed your tune from last night, haven't you, champion? Do you remember the time that we fell in love? Do you remember the time? The timber lost its shit. Do you remember the time? Morning, Froths. Let's have a look at this. Chronicles of Ozmane. Cool. Doesn't look bad at all. Nice. Alright. Put that on the list. Yeah, maybe we could just do run stuff footage from last year. Interesting. Good idea. I'm gonna add that to my list actually. Excuse me while I literally add it to my list. Good. Yes, your idea. Yes. Man, I gotta tell ya, I'm so fucking happy. Last night, I finally cracked the code on the rolling images. It's not perfect. It's not perfect, but it works. And at this point, I'll take it. I'll take it. Haha, thank you, Magenta. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it works. And I can tell you without any word of a lie that I spent approximately 6 hours trying to crack that literal code. So finally cracking it was an extremely satisfying thing, even if I didn't fully get it. I got it enough. I will also point out that wasn't 6 hours yesterday, that was 6 hours over a period of time. Yeah, there is plenty. Indeed, it does. It's a good call. I don't know if I can get the Camelot video, but what surprised me was the quality of what I actually got on there. I put the Saturation Generation logo. Thanks, Match Fixer. Oh, we got a hype train. Get amongst it. When did that happen? Hype train. What do I normally do on hype train? Free songs or something? Yeah, we're going to show it off later, so you'll be able to see the diorama, the scrolling. Actually, this I might even try and get all elements, all lights on at the same time. Because I've got to run a test on how long the lights. What do you mean? How's it running? As in what's it using? No, stay stuck down, girl. Arduino Uno. Yep. Yeah, I know. I'm the world's greatest coder. I'm like that guy from the Core. Who can blow on a fuck. Now you've got free international calls for life. If you don't get that reference, I'm sorry. Go and watch the movie from the 90s, The Core, because it's one of the greatest films ever made. And by that, I mean it is absolutely tragically bad. And I love it so much. Yes, let's speak of the job. So, I don't think I've actually spoken about my job much, but uh, my company was in the news this week because we're about to go bust. That's what the news reported. So for all the Aussies, you should be able to infer where I work from that. But if not, that's okay. It's not really, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, it looks like this year will be probably the last year for me with my current company, of which in April I will tick over 20 years with that company. It's been a long time at one place, It's been a really good experience for the most part. For pretty much all of it, really. I mean, I'm still there. Look, it's not really a good thing. I mean, I would be quite happy to. I'd be quite happy to run my career out with them. Really, I feel like I've built so many good relationships with people. A level of respect from peers, from team members. But yeah, COVID was really challenging for our business, as it was for many, I suppose. And really, since then, we've just been treading water to stay afloat, and failing. So it's not really. Look, as a person who manages businesses, I'm surprised it's taken this long. Put it that way. They really gave us a crack to try and turn it around, and we weren't able to do that. Magenta, I'm not sure, mate. That's a cool question. Let me think about it. It was any model, wasn't it? You could just enter any model. So yeah, finding myself now at the end of the last 20 years, and sort of thinking, oh, am I happy with my decisions? Am I happy with where I find myself? Absolutely. I wouldn't change anything. I'm pleased with, first of all, the way that I've conducted myself over that period of time, and the decisions that I've made. It's. I remember the finale of The Office. Jim's basically talking about this job that is boring, and everyone hates it, and but at the same time, it's this beautiful, wonderful, amazing job. And that's how I feel about my job. It's not always fun. In fact, there's times when it's really not fun. But it's allowed me to have a really amazing life. Like in my last 10 years, since 2009, I've done about 20 international trips overseas, visiting painting events, visiting wargaming events. It's just been an amazing period of my life. And without my job and the flexibility that job has provided, I would not have had that opportunity. And that's something that I cherish and appreciate. There's a possibility, and it's not a certainty, so I'm trying not to, I guess, get too enthusiastic about it, that I'll be made redundant at the end of this experience. And if that happens, cool, I'll come and print shirts. No, there's a chance that I could really give Little Toy Soldier painting a crack, as a career. Now, I think I've spoken about that on this channel many times. It's not something I want to do, really. As funny as that sounds, I just do this for fun, and have a really good time. And so there's no obligation for me. If I turn around and go, all right, champions, I'm not streaming this week, or I'm not streaming for a month, I can just do that, and I don't feel any guilt or any issues with doing that. And that changes if you if you have to do it for a job, if you have to do it for money. But by the same token, if you love what you're doing and you love they say people who love what they do never work a day in their life. It is really nice, Mini Mancer, and that's the freedom that I have at the moment. Yeah, I'd probably try and do it fully seriously and do a Patreon. Have my YouTube stuff be a little bit more serious, like actually make videos instead of just uploading streams and occasionally making videos. I do have a couple of videos that I'm going to make soon, but yeah, I don't know how much Patreon takes for their cut, but it's probably I think it's 12%. Let me check. Between 5 G'day Nurgle, thanks mate. 5 and 12%. Cool. Oh, thank you, mate. And look, if you're sort of sitting there going, "Oh my God, Deno, you're gonna be okay, mate." I've been across this for those who've been following along for a while. This has been the case since September last year. So I've gone through the whole gamut of emotions. So I've reached acceptance. It's going to happen. What it looks like for me yet, I don't know. The fortunate position that I find myself in is if it does happen, when it does happen, I'll have some time to make decisions about what my future looks like. So, and that's a very fortunate position to be in. And once again, that fortunate position is thanks to my job and being able to paint models and so we'll see what happens. I've talked a lot about because there was a number of people. There's a number of people who wanted me to host a podcast a little while back because I used to host a podcast for War Machine, which was very popular. It was called Oz Machine. It was a great podcast, by the way. And I resisted the idea of doing a podcast for a long time. And the main reason is I felt like it's important that you offer something different, that you offer something that no one else is offering. Because who's going to sign up for what you're offering if it's not different to anyone else? Like there's already Sergio, there's already Angel Geraldes, there's already many other Patreons out there of painters that are far better than me, right? So why would you sign up for me? What can I bring that those guys can't? And that's a question that you've got to be able to answer, I think, before you go down that path, because otherwise you can just fucking scrub around in the middle of the world, or worse. But if you want to make it a career, if you want to make a real fist of it, you got to be able to answer that question. Yeah, look, I've got charisma. I've got some things over those guys. Admittedly, Sergio does have a lot of charisma. He's a good looking rooster. I do paint models fast, and I think that is the part to leverage. How do we get people to paint models as quickly as I do and look as good as they do? So let me go back to that podcast because, again, that was tossed up. I think it's a bad idea because podcast is inherently an audio medium and miniature painting is inherently a video medium. You look at it. So I don't reckon it would work. You could do a podcast like they do on Cult of Paint, where you do a video version of it. You need to make some thinner. Yeah, so if you did $12, $13 a Patreon, how many people do I need to sign up for that to be viable as a career? So if you do it at $12, that's 10. Oh shit, I've gone way too much in there. Oops. Bit off my game at the moment. So if you had 100 people following, $10 a pop, it's $1,000. And if you then so basically you probably need about 500 people a month for it to be viable in Australia. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people to follow along with me. Well, again, it depends on my financial situation after the job situation, so. And see, and this is where I get into the problem that I have with this idea. Because yeah, absolutely, teaching is, I think a lot of those guys make money on individual private coachings and stuff, right? I'm really bad at that. I don't want to do it. I'd much rather just come and paint my models. And if I feel like making a video, I'll make a video. But yeah, that's the thing. Sometimes people have to do things they don't want to do because they need to eat. And that's okay. Well, $20 is $20, mate. It's a wait and see, friends. It's let's at the end of the. G'day, Jared. At the end of the year, we'll have a look. Have a look at the finances. Great question, Sean. So I don't know how much you've airbrushed, if you have airbrushed or not. What you can find with an airbrush is that you get this very pastel look, a very desaturated look, and it's been my experience that if you spray an airbrush over a colour that is painted on, a more opaque colour, then what happens is you get a much better, stronger final result. So what I'm actually doing with the airbrush is using it to, and you can see it a little more clearly on here, but I'm using it to soften the transition between those two lines. So if you remember just before, it was a very harsh line where I just drawn a line. Well, now it's a softer version, but that area where I painted is a much stronger colour. So it's kind of a way to blend something quickly and do it in about 3 seconds. You are welcome. Okay, I'm starting to get annoyed at this fucking model falling off its fucking... Haha. I can only do bitmap images, unfortunately. I can't get Camelot, so I can actually put a picture of Camelot. I can put a picture of Camelot for sure. Alright, I'll go to that right now. Actually, send me a logo, Jared. I need to put your logo on there, mate. Have you got a JC Paints logo? There's actually no limit to the number of... Well, there is a limit. It's the limit of the SD card, the micro SD card. But there's no limit to the number of images I can put on there. I can just put like 50 images. It'll scroll through them. Put 150 images. I put bennies on there. I put bunnies on there. It's pretty fun. Alright, let's paint her puffer vest. What colour? Puffer vest. Thank you, airbrush, for making me look good. Let's do black. What's egg bend? Do I have to do egg bend? Is that me? I don't recall egg bend. Is that... I just thought I'm going to do the picture of Jared shaking the guy's hand. Oh, let's do it. Let's do it. Alright, this is fucking me off. Where's my thing? Cause if you're ready for me, boy, you better push the button and let me know before I get the wrong idea and go before. Using my red grass holder. Why? Because the fucking blue tack is much better. It's going to hold this model. Oh, that's a good idea, actually. Sure did, Timbo. Sure did, mate. So I wrote some hidden messages across the piece, and I added some hidden tattoos, and I mixed it in with some paints and highlighted. Good question, Jared. I've been excited about painting since Crimson, which is nice feeling. Last few years I've come back and just wanted to take some time off painting, but this year I was pretty jazzed to do some painting. I kind of want to do another display project. I think I'll try and knock over Erinus. I don't really like where it's currently at, so we might have to make some pretty big swings to try and shift it. But yeah, I'm sort of tempted by something like Oz, Wineworks Oz, or Seven Dwarves from Lucas. Yeah, something small. I do have a massive piece. I went to the podiatrist the other day. Podiatrist is a foot doctor for those who aren't sure. And I flopped my massive piece out on the table. And the podiatrist said, "Hey, hang on a second, mate, that's not a foot." I said, "No, but it's at least 10 inches. Such a good joke. Cheers. I'll be here all week. Try the veal. It's really good. What do I want to paint next? Yeah, you guys can help me decide, actually. And I'll just rephrase that to say you friends can help me decide. Pretty funny, right? Yeah, I'd like to paint a single figure for Ark, a small one, a Baden maybe. We might go through my collection of things to paint next, so and decide. Oh, I got a couple of cool historical pieces. I bought some nice historical pieces from Juddo um, at QMHE last year. I like to buy a couple of historicals at QMHE, Queensland Model Hobby Expo, for those not familiar. Held in August, and yeah, and then I like to try and paint them for the following year. Yep, I played Warhammer: The Game of Fantasy Battles for many years. Was started in grade 3. Played my first tournament in grade 5. I played Lizardmen. It had a fully painted requirement, and so I fully painted my army in grade 5, which was a cool feeling. Yeah. The event was called Maelstrom, and it was held at the Mount Gravatt Institute of TAFE. And I know this. Uh, I remember this vividly because I organised a schedule for the parents. My mum, my friend's mum. We had 3 of us going. And so I was like, all right, Wal, that's what I call my mum. You're going to drive us this day, and then someone's mum's going to pick us up, and then the next morning we're going to get dropped off by this person, and so on, so that each mum only had to do 2 trips, and we paid them like $2 each. So it was a good deal for everyone. Thank you, Mini Madark Uwu. Yeah. If you think that's nice, check this out. I want to push the pram a lot. I'm going to need one of those for... Hey, Sleepy Slay, I'm going to need one of those for this piece. Do you want to see it? Do you want me to get it out and start showing it off? I'm pretty excited about it, honestly. I feel like it's my best diorama. Alright, I'll just finish painting this hair in red, and then I will whip it out. G'day, Bear Cave. Oh, it's gonna be a satisfying day when this is all finished. In other words, today is a satisfying day. Alright, let's do it. Let's do it, motherfucker! That's my legs and my arm and my Jats crackers. Hope you enjoyed that. That'll do for the moment. Don't drop it, you fuckwit. Imagine that. That'd be classic. Alright. No. Okay. I need to go back even further. Okay, there we go. So there's, first of all, yeah, it is taller than Stormy. Cool. So we've still got this chick. She sits in here. I'm not going to put her in, but so I'll show you a few things first of all. This is the screen, and there's a micro SD card right there. I haven't glued that in, but I may actually glue that in, because you can actually access the micro SD card from there. But maybe I won't glue it in. I am going to fix up this wiring and stuff, but I don't really need to at the moment. None of it's 3D printed actually. It's all made. So this one can go on. Lick the battery. So there you go. This is my face. Arc open. Neon Nights. Can you see that on the screen? Or I can't really see because of the glare on the screen. Crimson Brush. The little TV screen. Look at it. Me and Bucks. Sat Jen. Ben X Layton. The Vault. Urko's Vault. The Guild's in. The Big Man. You can see this is also light. Okay, so I'll show you a few more things now, because we're not done yet. We're not done yet. Alright, so you can see the green. So that's actually flickering. So the sewers is flickering underground. This light here is also showing, is pretty cool. Maybe I'll dull that down, but there's actually two lights back here that are lighting up this. So it's like a billboard that's been lit up, which is nice and pretty fun. And then obviously the screen's going with the logos of everyone and myself. And there's also an LED behind here, an LED here, which is fun. We're not done yet, friends. So up the top here, I've wrote Rage Against the Dying of the Light. Yeah, the bike does look sick actually. And I'll just quickly show off the last bit because you haven't seen this bit yet. Well, I think you have. Maybe you haven't? I don't know. Sorry, because that's very light. Look at the landing strip. Boo. So there you go. It's basically finished now. Turn that down a smidge. Up a smidge. It's basically finished. There's just lots of little things that we need to, that I could spend time doing. And again, this is where you get into the realms of, well, is it worth it? Is there anything, g'day Gary, is there anything that I do now that's going to really improve the initial impact of this piece? Probably not. It's probably not going to get much more value out of what I do now that people are going to notice. Certainly, I would notice, but that's the constant challenge with one of these things. And maybe on a smaller piece, on a smaller project, you do those little extra efforts. But it's like, so yeah. Yeah, I think it's a to answer Jared's question, I think it's the best diorama that I've constructed. I think there is a lot of cool elements. Yeah, that happens at QMHE. Dudes rock up with their really cool stuff that they're really proud of, which they should be proud of, right? And I don't want to diminish anyone's work and effort, but yeah. And I just pop that down next to it. Cheerio then. Yes, mate, that's why I've got the ARC and Guilds Inn logos on there. So the Guilds Inn logo will pop up on the screen when it's at the Guilds Inn. Get amongst it. There's Benny's. I think Guilds Inn's next, mate. You see it right here. No, that's Verco's Vault. Guilds Inn's next. Guilds Inn's next. There it is, the Guilds Inn. Yeah, I mean, so here's the things that I wanted to do, right? I wanted to, and I may still do. So I'm not writing this off, but I wanted to put Bunny's tattoos on this chick because it's supposed to be Bunny because she's got a monster shirt and she's got Bunny's hair. There's probably 4 hours of work or maybe a little bit less. Does it improve the piece? Is it a detail that gets lost in everything that's happening? G'day, Kaylin. I wanted to, so just like little things like that. Is it worth it is the question. It doesn't fly. The way that this will get transported is I will put it into a wooden box that I construct to hold it. I will screw the base down. All of these models are removable. So, except for her, she's not removable, but she's pretty solid. Yeah. And that's the question, right? Is it worth doing? Is it worth putting my time and effort into things that probably don't get noticed? Well, that's what I did last year with the vampire diorama. That's what I did last year with the... What was the other diorama I did that I brought to Guilds Inn? Well, this is Bunny, right? That's Bunny. It's got her hairstyle. It's got her monster shirt. So yeah. Do I put a bunny tattoo on there? Just one? Again, and this is the thing, like you toss up, yeah, it'd be fucking cool. Is it worth it? Yep. But then I can do the same thing by putting a logo on my rotating screen, and that's it. It's also done. So if anyone wants their logo on my diorama, feel free to send it to me. I can do it in bitmap images. So I just got to get a Camelot bitmap. Thanks, Kaylin. Oh, that's a good one actually. Nico Galaxy. I've got to do that. I even asked Petrick about that.
I'll just make a note of all the things I'm going to put logos on there for. Nico, Galaxy, Bunny, Camelot. What else did we say we are going to put on there? Dick pics. The handshake. That is it. Oh shit. Oh shit. It's actually quite easy for me to add images to that. Like there's a micro SD card. I just pull it out, put it in my computer, and upload the bitmaps, and that's it. It's done, and it just fucking cycles through them. It's so good. Oh fuck! I love this project so much. I love it so much. Alright, let's get back to painting this pretty lady. Oh, that's alright. Yeah, I can do that. My very first display piece. Does anyone remember that, or is that just me? Alright, well I'm going to extend a very special opportunity to everyone on the stream right now. If you'd like to get your logo on the Neon Knights diorama, feel free to send it through. Send it through right now to me, and I'll put your logo on there if it looks good, and I can turn it into a bitmap. Oh, little Deno. Love that kid. Little Deno would be chuffed at this one. He really would. This is one for the Deno books. Again, I just think it's important to understand why you do these things. Like, why have I just spent a month of my life doing that, you know? And the answer to that question is because little me, the little guy, walked into a store called Dragon's Keep and saw painted armies and painted stuff and just went, this is so cool, I wish I could do that. Well, now I can. And hopefully, after QMHE, there's a young man, or woman, or other, a young person, who walks away and says, I wish I could do that. Well, maybe soon. That's good too. Oh shit, g'day Having Pigeon. I should put a fucking QR code on there, which links people to my Instagram. My god, could you imagine that?
She looks like Adolf Hitler. I've made an awful mistake there. Oh, Rickroll. We're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I. A real connection's what I'm thinking of. You wouldn't get this from any other guy. I just wanna tell you how I'm feeling. Gotta make you understand. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you. Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna say goodbye. Never gonna tell a lie and hurt you. Philodendron. Oh, Nurgle, that's some good stuff from you. That is a great shout back to the wonderful times we've had on this stream together. Haven't we had some laughs? Haven't Bucks and I had some ripping good times? And all the other special guests we've had on here. We had Jared on once, that was great. Tui popped on once. Who else do we have? Where is my fucking red leather? There it is. Oh, good on you, Kalen. We'll get Kalen's logo. You're a dickhead. Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna say goodbye. Never gonna tell a lie and hurt you. We've known each other for so long, but you're too shy to say it. I'll just make this observation, right? I'll just make this observation, and you can attack me as much as you want. I really like that song. It's every time I get rickrolled, I'll be like, hey, it's actually a good song. The guy's a great singer. Like, get amongst it. It's a bad film clip. It's a great song. Never gonna give, never gonna give. I don't trust anything you're sending at the moment, Kalen. Alright, well, I haven't really talked about my TV experience for this last week. It's been a full-on couple of weeks, right? As much as it sounds like I've been on holidays. I've been quite busy, but I have watched almost all of season 2 of Reacher. I've enjoyed it a lot. I really enjoy that show. I've got one episode to go of Black Sails for my second rewatch, or my second watch. That show makes me want to paint pirates. It makes me want to just play as pirates, paint a pirate, just pirates. starting to get pretty jazzed for June 2, which is only a couple of weeks away, I think. Which should be good. So I need another show to start watching again. Hey, yeah, sorry mate. I probably didn't see it, or I did see it and just spaced on answering it. Feeling good. It was I think easily our best yet. Our best Crimson Brush for sure. Um, could probably be considered the best display painting event ever in Australia. But I would not make such a bold a claim. We've got a lot of things we can work on for next year. As you know, the first question I ask myself is what could I do better? What could I do differently? Well, actually, the first question I ask myself is where is the light source, but you know what I mean. And yeah, there's quite a few things we want to improve. And I will say that I've started to use the term "we" quite a lot, and it's still mostly me that does a lot of the lead up. But on the day, there's a lot of people that help a lot, and Ben obviously has done a huge chunk of things as well. So, but yeah, there's people like Jared who helped out immensely on the weekend. The judges, Bucks who hosts the stream, all that stuff. So, but yeah, I walked away feeling really good this year. I feel like we did a great job, and I'm excited for next year. We've got even more big goals and big plans, and hopefully we'll continue to build the stream presence, and then also the presence of the stream at the actual event. Yeah. Emily in Paris, really good show. I like that show. There's one more season, isn't it? Like, it ended on a massive cliffhanger. I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't watched. I haven't actually watched Peaky Blinders, but so I'll just specify. Um, I have two shows I like to watch at any given moment. The first show is one that I'm excited for and can devote my time and energy into. The second one is one that I've watched before that I can just sort of have on in the background when I'm doing things that I don't really need to pay as close attention to. So that's what I'm looking for at the moment, is a show that I have watched before. I can just sort of tick along. If season 2 of Arcane is soon, that is awesome. But I doubt it will be soon, because it took them 7 years to make the first one. Could be time to rewatch Stranger Things. We're getting close to that not coming out because it's 2025. Keep it fresh. G'day, Jimmy the Brush, Gavin Average. Welcome, friends. You've picked an interesting time to come, mate. If you came about 10 minutes ago, you would have seen the diorama that I'm working on, which is pretty big and elaborate. But for all those new people, I'll give you another diorama that I worked on not long ago, and you can watch that instead. Here you go. Gavin. Yeah, the new one's pretty cool. It's got some whiz bang features. It's got lights. It lights up. Welcome to the stream, friends. If you haven't been here before, my name's Trent. Most people call me Big Dano. I just paint little toy soldiers. What'd you get up to, Jimmy? Jimmy the Brush? If you're still here. If you're raiding and running, that's okay too. I do that. Mostly because when I finish, I just want to go and have some lunch. Oh, yes. Necromunda. So, I don't know if I've told this story on stream before. I'm sure I have. It was the game of my childhood. When I was really pumped about Games Workshop, it was Necromunda. The very first White Dwarf I bought was 198, which is going back a long time. And in that, I think Necromunda had been released 197. G'day, 3D Code Warrior. 197 or 196 Necromunda had come out. They did a battle report in episode 199, which was Ratskins versus Escher. And it was everything I wanted out of my life. And so I used to spend hours and hours, building little bits of terrain out of polystyrene and stuff, and imagining what Necromunda would be like with my friends. And unfortunately, we never really made it happen. But that love for Necromunda continued. And in my early 20s, I went on a crusade to buy all of the Necromunda, the original models, and I paid a lot of money for all the original models, and I built a full collection of all of the Necromunda figures. So I had pretty much every Necromunda figure that ever released. And then I sold it to one of my good friends, Koki, so that I could travel overseas for an international holiday, which was well worthwhile. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. But anyway, and then Necromunda re-released, and we have had goals, me and Koki, to go back and play that for a long time. And we've never gotten around to it. But Necromunda, easily the game for me. The one that absolutely rustles my jimmies. I love the background and story. I love the idea of characters evolving. I don't usually go 4 hours a night, Gary. No. So my general process is I paint on stream, which is about 6 hours a week, and then on Tuesday nights I play board games with my friends. I don't paint then. Wednesday nights I play touch, so I don't generally paint then. Maybe an hour or two. Thursday nights I spend with my girlfriend, so it's just that time and a little bit of time here or there when I get a chance. So at the moment, I'm playing a game called Euthia Resurrected, or Euthia Torment of Resurrection. It's was on Kickstarter last year or the year before, and then it failed. The Kickstarter failed, and so Steamforged Games came in and resurrected the Kickstarter. And they were able to make it fund. But the original company, Day Games, they were basically banking on it being successful, and then it had a pretty slow start, and so they pulled the plug. It looked like for a long time it wasn't going to get made, but yeah. And then I bought in. Well, people don't really ask for feedback as much, mate. I'll always happily do feedback. I mean, I never really advertised it, right? Just people were like, oh, hey, can you get some feedback on this piece? I'd be like, sure. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm a big celebrity now. Sure, mate. Post the pictures in the chat so everyone can see. At this point in time, Sean, there is no international painters coming over teaching classes, to my knowledge. Now, what will happen next year around Crimson again? I expect we'll have some people expressing interest in coming over. I've had a couple of people message me, so we'll see. There's a strong push from a couple of people. Not really me, but I'm aligned with it. That we look to start doing more homegrown classes. And guys like Dave and Bucks do a little bit more stuff. So there may be some classes from those guys at some point, or other painters around Australia. And I know Natalie, winner of the Crimson Brush, is actually doing a little mini class coming up in a few weeks, few months. Don't know. Let's let that dry. Let's have a look at this from Minimancer. Oh. Minimancer. 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 You've got the bokeh effect happening with your photography, which is where the middle part is in focus and everywhere else is out of focus. And that's the challenge with miniature painting photography, is that to get real clear picture, you have to have quite a wide depth of field. Blah 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 blah. It's hard, basically. What the fuck is that? I wish I could take better photos. Anyway, so you continue to improve. You continue to improve. There's a number of things I like about this. The clear focal point. You know, if we were to take this into a grayscale, this face area would be the highest value. And you've also got those tinges of red, which is really good. I love the little foliage elements. I think they're nice. I assume you're going to paint them, which is good. And I'm assuming that element is not quite finished yet. The mushroom, maybe it is, and I've just offended you terribly. I guess what I want to see from you in general. Oh yeah, Kaylin's a photographer, by the way. If you want to ask her any questions about how to set up for miniature painting photography, I'm sure she'd be able to answer far better than I can. I think it's just about refining for you now. You know, you've got that level of understanding of where your values need to be higher and lower, where your contrasts, need to appear. But if we look at, these sorts of elements down here, some smoothness, some refining, will help. I really like that you've got a different textural approach to the leather versus the hair, but I think you need to probably lean into that a little bit more. The hair should be quite silky, and it looks a little rough at the moment. The leather looks good, looks rough. This fabric, we could have some stippling or different stuff again to differentiate it from the other elements. But honestly, mate, I think for you, just keep painting, just keep trying stuff, because your progression from 12 months ago to now has been awesome, and you continue to work hard and paint models, and that's all you need to do to get better, really. So keep chipping away, son. this project. I've never actually seen this project with this chick on there. Every time I've done this, I haven't really put her on there, which is exciting to have her finally go on there. What shop do you work for, Sean? Give it a plug, mate, if you want. Beautiful. What's your handicap, mate? I used to play a lot of golf when I was younger. I used to play with my cousin Steve-O, my other cousin Granto. Used to get out to the Wantima Country Club every Sunday morning. Tee off would be as early as we could get it, usually 6:30, 7 o'clock. Play a beautiful 9, sometimes 18 holes. Just out in the beautiful sunshine. The birds chirping. Nothing quite like it. Sure, mate. Always happy to give feedback to you. Should we lean into the Harley Quinn? Alright. Let's do it. Yeah. Don't send on Discord, mate. Send on here so everyone can see them. So it's not just me looking at them. Okay. Sleepy Slang. So if you don't know, Sleepy Slang works as a commission painter in Germany. I do awesome shit. I'm going to get them to paint one of my games one day. And then the fucker comes on here and he's like, oh, Dino, can you help me paint better? And then he sends this shit. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm already a better painter than you, man, but can you help me? Fuck off, mate. I feel a bit rusty on feedback, actually. It's a good observation from... Alright. Focal point is the sword blade. So, if that's what you want it to be, that's good. But I would have thought that you'd maybe want his face to be the focal point. The sword is drawing my eye more than anything else on the piece. I think you probably could add a little bit more variation with the rust. You know, some more orangey elements, not too overpowering. But just some small additional hints of orange, brighter orange, like you've got it over there in the chainmail. I think a little bit more on the sword would be good. My weakness as a painter, and I think I'll observe the same thing about you, is I just tend to lean into one colour and do that one colour on a piece, you know. This is just blue. I think this piece would be served by adding a second element, colour, whether that's done in a pattern, you know, whether you add a pattern, or whether you highlight it into the blue maybe. But the blue is just very good, but it's also very boring. If you can incorporate something other than blue into there, I think that would really elevate the piece. Now, that might be absolutely shit-house feedback, right? That doesn't make any sense, but every time I look at my own work, I think to myself, yeah, cool, man, you've painted some fucking red again. Well done, you fucking spud. Or congratulations on just painting the same colours that you always use, you fucking idiot. So, having said that, I know where you come from with your painting, which is a background of display painting. Sorry, not display painting, commission painting. Where why would you do more than one colour, right? One colour looks good on the table, it stands out, and it's quicker. So, you know, and that's kind of where I come from as well. So, anyway, interesting observations. You're a fucking dickhead coming in here and trying to get feedback from me, mate. Fucking dickhead. This fucking guy. No. Man, I am yesterday's hero. Bucks is the new champ. Jared's the new champ of Australia ever since he went overseas and won medals. I got nothing, mate. No one even wants to shake my hand, even if I would do a better job of it. Who can say where the road grows? Good one, Dino. Fucking hell, one of your best. Haha. Please, you did not. So let's reflect on this piece. It's been a very nice time. I don't think there's been a moment where I've been like, oh, I just don't want to work on this. You know, I just don't want to do it. Because there was a period with Camelot, I think, where I actually was like, nah, I can't do it anymore. And I just switched off and started painting something else. And then 2 days later I came around. And I started again. Hang on, I just had a message from my dude. It's actually not black. It's well, it's Chimera black mixed with a little bit of red. Yeah. So the dude who helps me with 3D printing and all sorts of stuff, his name's Mark. Great man. He's also a coder, so he was going to help me with my coding for my little thing that wasn't working. But I got it last night, and he just sent me a message. He's like, "Hey man, let's hang out and we'll figure that stuff out." She's a great figure. She's unreal. Good. Good. Alright, so I need to add some blue under light. Hey, nice. Blue, which we will do with the airbrush very shortly. $1 for that thing. Alright, let's do some airbrushing. Why not? Hey, Paul. Hey, Paul. Hey, Paul. America, fuck yeah. Come on again and save the motherfucking day, yeah. America, fuck yeah. G'day, COVID madness. Thanks, mate. I'm glad. Hopefully you'll get along next year. I think we had a fair bit of fun. Hopefully that came across. Add that. Alright, we need to do some blue underlighting, but first let's mate, you don't have to come along and win medals. You know, just coming along, attending the event, meeting other painters, having a nice time. That's the real goal. Is that actress Jo? Yes, there will be a best OHS performing model. Joe Mama! That's good. That's good for me. Yep. Yep. Appreciated that. I had a piece of negative feedback on my YouTube channel, which was, the joke wore thin after a little while. I really wish you would have talked about the models instead. Wasn't our job to talk about the models, mate. We didn't want to have any part to play in the decision making process. We just wanted people to see the models and make their own decisions. We actually already had more input than I wanted us to, because we chose 10 models. That was not my original plan. My original plan was that the models would actually be chosen by people on stream. But we weren't able to do that because we weren't able to get the photos in the time frame that I wanted, and as always, got to stay flexible. So I stayed flexible. But yeah, I thought it was funny. How many Space Marines did we put in there? I think we only put 2. Did we only put 2 in? I did, Timbo, yes, I did. Received a couple of silver medals for a couple of my pieces, which was nice. Are you going this year, mate? Ah, right, very good. Welcome. We'll forever miss the real quirky cat. Yeah, we had the green dude, which was a great example of composition. Well, last year, Ark was not super good to hang around with the whole time. There was seats and stuff, and we all hung around and had a chat, which was nice. And then Squidmar was there, so people got to follow him around and try and get some time with him. Didn't really work. Because he mostly just wanted to hang out with me and Dave. Right, what's the next big diorama? What's the next big diorama, friends? I was thinking about that the other day. What is one that we can sink our teeth into? So we're looking for a range of figures from a manufacturer that we can put together in a cohesive way. So Pirates requires Bucks to get his hand off it and have a crack with us, which he's not going to do. So what haven't I done one with? Well, that's a broad question, but I've done one with most. So the ones that probably interest me the most at the moment is there was that range done by, I think it was Aradia, which were all dinosaurs. Do you remember the dinosaurs one? I feel like that is one that worked quite well. Or a Chimera where we pull together some of the undead Tenebrae ones. How do we feel about those two options? We should go and have a look at them actually. I didn't get on the Kickstarter. Have I done a historical? No, I have not. Well, King Arthur was kind of historical. Kickstarter, Aradia, dinosaurs. So this one's a possibility. Skink Shaman, very cool. Ankylosaurus, very cool. She is not a dinosaur. Triceratops. Ceratops? Same guy, different head. Cool. Apatosaurus, that guy's fucking legendary. That's such a good paint job by Ruben Martinez. That guy is a freak. And then this one's Stegazar. That's fucking sick. I wouldn't use these little guys. That guy's cool. Isn't there a big bird one? Oh yeah, that's mad. Look at that. I don't want that monkey on top though. That's a cool range. Hey, while we're here, I've got to show you this. I was at an op shop the other day. My girlfriend was shopping for clothes. And I got this. It's a dinosaur. It's Tyrannosaurus Rex. And it's 1/35th scale, which is roughly the right scale for a 55 mil. 50 mil scale. It's quite nice detail actually. It'll do really nicely with an airbrush and some inks. But I could also like make it be like a small Tyrannosaurus and have a chick riding it and another chick trying to fight it. But yeah, anyway, let's go back to these Kickstarter things. So that feels pretty good. I like the dinosaurs. What was the other one? It was Chimera, wasn't it? What's that one called? Chimera models Kickstarter. That will do. Give me some fucking models, you dickheads. I don't want 38 mil. Don't be ridiculous. Who would want to paint 38 mil? Okay, 75. Great figure. Incredible figure. Swinson's a fucking legend. Mini Den did that one. That's also beautiful. Oh, he's on a fucking thing as well. Oh my god. That is a beautiful model. Hey, nice work by Ladislav. Look at that! Why didn't I buy in on this at the time, actually? I've got $1 in it, but... Oh my god. That's a beautiful model. Look at that. That is a beautiful model. Jeez, I kind of want to do this one. Unreal. So I probably just need to buy everything from this fucking range ever made, don't I? These are pretty awesome. I don't know why I never bought in on that. I think I was poor at the time. We just did that one before you got on, Chips. That was the one I looked at first. So how do I do a very cool diorama with all of those figures? How do we do that, I wonder? What sort of scene would it be? Well, it's probably less about being financially poor, although I probably was a little bit financially poor at the time, but more about being time poor and ideas poor, or maybe even limited enthusiasm for miniature painting poor. These dioramas were they can be a little bit draining. They can take a little bit out of you, and they can put you at a pretty low ebb for enthusiasm for miniature painting. By the same token, like this one, they can also absolutely froth you up and have you ready to go. Which is what this one's done for me. Oh, by the way, I'll just throw it out there. If anyone bought the Wood Dwarves from Lucas and wants someone to paint them, please get in touch. Or, for that matter, if someone bought two and wants to sell one, please get in touch. I did the right thing at the time, which was I didn't buy them because I was like, you know what, I'm not going to have a job soon. Can't really justify spending $1,000. And then I thought, Deno, you are going to be able to sell those more than likely, mate. That's an investment. And then by the time I'd convinced myself it was a good decision, they were gone. can do it. Yeah, we've got a couple of shirts, and I think that's about it. But the sizes that we have are only large and medium, I think. So send me a message if you want. They are awesome shirts. Yeah. Lucas does a really good approach to that normally, which is where he says, "Hey guys, this is the window of time where you can buy it." He didn't do that for the Wood Dwarves, mostly because the caster was like, "Come on, guy, you're asking me to cast like 60 models. It's not just one bust; it's 60 models. Oh, by the way, you need to do fucking 400 copies of these models. That's a lot to ask." G'day, Buxo. What? You talking about my regret? Are you laughing at my regret for not buying the fucking... Oh, you're at Will's class? Awesome. Tell the fucker I said hello. Hello, Will. You fuck. No. Hope it's all going well. He's a good man. Yes. Very nice man. Got a lot of time for him. Will Pants. I am going to have to seriously consider those Tenebrae models and work out how much that diorama is going to cost me. Because I've still, as I said, still got no job soon. But these things are an investment. Mind you, it's an investment in hoping that someone's crazy enough to buy these aspirational projects. Has what been confirmed, mate? Well, they came out in the news this week and said basically it was definitely happening. So, unfortunately, nothing is absolutely locked in concrete yet, but it's very likely. So, Who's got a Panorami? Come on, son. Give it to me. Big Den, I'll buy it from you. No, it's okay, Jared. I've accepted it. I accepted it quite a while ago. You know, we'll figure out something to do with my life. Even if that is setting up a Patreon and painting models. Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. It will. Look, I went through that little fucking doom spiral in the space of about half an hour, where I was like, I can't afford it. You can't do it, Dano. Why are you doing this? No, I'm not going to do it. And I closed the screen. And then I was thinking, and I was mulling, and I was like, oh, come on, Dano. Come on, do it. Yeah, do it, Jared. PRM. PRM. Reopen the fucking screen. Nah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. It's a good investment. Gone. Sold out. Fuck you. Oh no. Well, you and I are in the same boat then, mate. Regretful of our decisions. Yeah, if it hits eBay for twice the cost, that's probably still a good investment for me. I can probably sell it for 3 or 4 times the cost. But it's still a gamble. And it's probably a gamble that I don't need to take. At this point in time, anyway. Alright, that girl is pretty close. We're going to do some cool, do some shiny black for her boots. These little stumpy bits, we're going to make them glossy black. That'll be fun. And so, g'day Crypt Shadow. So here's a fun little tip for you that I like to use on occasion. If you are painting black and you want it to look like black, don't highlight it with anything, just paint it black, and then use a gloss or a satin varnish, and that will make the natural light reflect off the black a little bit, which will make it look like you've highlighted it. Doesn't work on excellent display pieces, but it will work in pretty much every other application. In this application, it's going to work fine. So my plans for today, I'm going to go and have some lunch, and then I'm going to play some more Uvia, see a Minimancer, and upload some more bitmaps to my rolling screen of bitmaps, which is going to be fun. Which is good. All right, I think I've talked myself into this. Let me have a look at these again. So is this a collection of heroes preparing for war? Is it a couple of bands of that guy's sick. That's a fucking awesome piece by Max Art. That is unreal. Yeah. Alright, friends, I'm going to head off. Covert Madness, you've picked a bad time for me to ask for feedback. I'm going to get some lunch. But next time, tomorrow night with Buxo. Here you go, Buxo. I painted this. We will absolutely be happy to do your feedback then. Thank you, friends. I've got an umbrella to paint, and I've got this chick to finish, and that's it. We're calling time on the diorama. Woo! So, we're on tomorrow. Bucks will be on tomorrow. Get excited, friends. It's going to be amazing. All right, we'll talk soon. Big Dano.